And we are live. Welcome everybody to Wednesday Night Fish Talk. For everybody watching the replay, I will always like to tell you guys, thank you for watching the replay. Thank you for coming tonight. Josh and everything, how you doing today?
Good, how are you? Thanks for inviting me on your channel. I appreciate it.
No problem. Like I tell everybody, I really enjoy opening my platform to other good channels and people doing, good things in the industry. And just open up my platform and help them out. That's just the way I am right now, and that's what the whole thing of Wednesday Night Fish Talk is. Bring people up here and just really get to know you on a personal, your personal fish level. So we're gonna start this off. How many tanks you got right now?
Well over 80 plus tanks. Anywhere smallest one. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Smallest one's a 15 gallon up to all the way to 180 gallon.
How many 180s you got? Just one?
I got one 180, but I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are custom that are basically a 180 just shorter. So instead of 24, they're 22 inches tall. But I got 4 more, basically 165 gallon tanks, I call them, coming on Friday from glass cages. So they're 72 by 24 by 22.
Okay. Scott's Aquatic, how you doing? Monster Fish Guy, how you doing? Catfish Nation, thank you for joining us. Now, what are you mainly having in your tanks?
Right now, I mainly have Lake Malawi cichlids. A lot of more predator haps, so the Lynchochromis acuticeps, the Malawi gars, the Champsochromis rallius Malawi trouts. I got a group of Ramsochromis, which are the Malawi barracudas. A lot of the bigger predator haps are what I have right now.
Okay. About how many species?
I think I'm still have around 40 species.
40 different African species? Tennessee Aqua, JT Aquatics, how y'all doing? Now, other than Africans, are you doing anything else, or that's all you're mainly doing?
I have a couple of jewel cichlid pairs. So they're West Africans that I breed, and then I did breed some Neotropolis from Costa Rica. I have some fry from a pair I had with those. I have a couple of Madagascar groups too sitting around that I'm waiting for them to grow out to breed.
Oh, what type of Madagascar?
I got the Paratilapia Paulini.
Mm-hmm.
I have the East Coast Gold, and I have the Damba Lake Keone, which is the one that gets real white with red in them.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, you got some nice ones coming on that.
Oh yeah.
Now, are you gonna lean into breeding some more new species, or this is kind of what you're gonna like to do right now?
I'll probably dabble in a little bit different. I tried angelfish for a while. That wasn't successful with that, so I gave that up. And I always want to try something new.
Any live bears coming that way?
No, I did have a tank of guppies though and shrimp for a while.
Everybody had their guppies and shrimp at least.
Yeah, I couldn't keep the shrimp alive, and they were cherry shrimp. I'm like, really? This is their shrimp? Come on! And I didn't do good with them at all. I don't know if it was. I have a water change system that runs every day, a couple times a day, so I don't know if it was something with the water being too clean or what. But I didn't do good with them, so I said, nope, it's not for me.
So where are you located out of?
So I am in Newport, Michigan.
Okay. Pretty cold right now?
Actually, today was almost a little over 70. But we shouldn't be typically. We shouldn't be this warm, but I'll take it.
Y'all call it warm, we call it cold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Zen Ginger, Joe Munoz, how y'all doing? S, how's it going? Cooper Aquatics, thank you for joining us. I probably missed a couple more people. Guys, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, hit that thumb, share it on social media and everything. Now, I've been seeing you've been traveling a little bit, going to these different swap meets. How's that going for you?
So that's been going really well. So yeah, we went to a couple of weeks ago. We had a swap meet here in Michigan for the first time since November. which was good. They had about a little shy of 500 people show up for that. And then we went down to Ohio a couple weeks after that to Cincinnati. They had around 300 there show up for their swap meet. And then April 11th, I'll be in Iowa and Davenport. They get around 900 to 1,000 people to their swap meets. And then we have a couple more in Michigan, want to get in Ohio. So just trying to get the name out there more with the food and the fish that I'm trying to sell and promote.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the food thing. What got you on that journey?
Well, I've always, breeding. I had 140 tanks at one time in my fish room, so I downsized now to just over 80, if you want to call it downsizing. But food's one thing we always need as breeders. So I've been feeding the food I've offered for several years now myself, and I figured why not bring it to the market, offer it to other hobbyists since it's been working out well for me. But food, there's so much competition out there in that space, so it's hard to compete.
Now you make this at home?
No, I have it milled, and then it gets shipped into me, and I just repackage it in smaller quantities to resell.
Okay. I thought you probably built a factory down there too. That's why you downsized.
No.
Now, how many varieties? And is it just African cichlid food?
I have 6. So I have various types of flake food. So I have cichlid flake, a color flake that can be fed to any fish, a tropical flake for community live bears. I have brine shrimp flake for your fish that you like to feed high protein to. Same thing with the plankton krill spirulina flake. And then we have some spirulina and then a vegetable flake. And then we have cichlid pellets and some smaller grow fry pellets that can be fed to pretty much any fish that can take a lot of protein.
Okay. So that's what I was going to ask you. Is it very high protein based, most of it?
Yes, majority of it is. But when you get the algae wafers are 30% protein, and then around 33% protein between the spirulina and the vegetable flake.
Are you doing any fine granulates for the fries?
Yes. So I have one fry food that's 0.6 to 0.85 millimeter, and then another one that's 0.85 to 1.2.
Guys, y'all need some food. Cunningham Cichlids, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So what? CunninghamCichlids.com?
Correct. Yes. Yep. CunninghamCichlids.com, and there's a shop on there to go ahead and browse and buy what you need.
That's what we're talking about. Now, how long have you been in the hobby?
Well, I've been keeping fish for well over 20 years. Started out with some Oscars and Dempsey's, and then stumbled into a pet store in North Carolina and seen this little striped fish, and I didn't know what it was, and I had to have it. Come to find out, it was a frontosa. So I was in the Marines at the time, and I was getting out a couple months after that. I brought the fish home with me to Michigan and kept it in my tank for several years. And then I started learning what African cichlids were and started messing around. I had 9 or 10 tanks for a while in my other house. Bred different Malawans for a while and had to take a frontosa. And then once I moved, I wanted a fish room. So now my whole basement is a fish room, which is about 1,200 square feet.
Not bad. Not bad. Now, how long you been actually doing YouTube?
Well, I started YouTube back in 2013, but I didn't push it. I didn't know it would grow like it did in the fish hobbies. I just used it for a place just to store videos of this group or this tank or that tank, just to show some people that couldn't believe how many fish tanks I had. And just do some fish room tours I put out there, some beginning fish room tours. But now over the last couple of years, tried to really grow my channel and get back into it, and put more information, put more videos out there for others.
Joe Munoz says 20 years. I say he knows a little about fish. I agree on that one.
Yeah, niche African cichlids, yes. But
it seemed like cichlids always been your forte.
Yes, for sure. In a couple of years, my plan is to go travel to Lake Malawi.
Oh,
for a couple of weeks and go dive over there.
Are you gonna you want to actually collect from there?
Oh, we can't collect, but we can. We'll be able to order fish and have them shipped back.
Okay. Oh, they don't let you collect out of there?
No, they not the group we go with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But at least you can get some, native species, with that wild gene in them.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's always nice to have new bloodlines.
Now, what would you like to get from over there?
It's hard to say.
I know, but let's say you got to make a decision today, right now, this second.
Actually, what I would like is the Emperor Cichlid from Lake Tanganyika. So my dream is eventually to have a 10 or 12-foot tank, and these guys will get 3-foot long, the Bollinger Microceps. So I would like to eventually get a pair of those guys.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
I wouldn't mind some Ventochromis horii and a couple different things to dabble in.
Mm-hmm. Now, how long you been running the whole breeding and selling for profit?
Since 2012 in June, I started a business and been running with it ever since.
This is a full-time thing for you?
No, I work full-time in the automotive industry, so this is a full-time job, but try to fit in a part-time schedule for what hours you have available. So.
Oh yes,
So
I understand you on that one.
Yeah, so that can be challenging sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Now, out there when you're doing the swap meets, have you been meeting other fish tubers in your area?
Yeah, so in Cincinnati, there's a couple guys that were there that had some channels that shot some footage that they're going to put up. Fish Room Frenzy, and then I forget the other guy's channel, but yeah, they came all the way up from Georgia, and one came from Georgia and one came from Tennessee.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's quite a trip up for for a swap meet.
Yeah, people want to get out and about, and now that these events are starting, it's gonna be a big thing. I mean, everybody's talking about Orlando Aquashella. It's gonna be humongous.
Yeah, I would like to make it down, but I'm curious how big is this gonna be. But I know Florida's pretty relaxed now, so.
Now,
well,
you think they just started?
True.
People crazy. It's been crazy. Everybody wants to get out and about and not wait, but hey, everybody got their own opinion about that whole situation.
Right. I'll see how it goes in Iowa with about 1,000 people coming through the building. So.
Oh yeah, you did say about 1,000 people. Now, is that being held by a fish club, or who's holding that event in Iowa?
There's a group called the Quad City Club. So, just the surrounding area, Iowa, Nebraska. So they put it on.
Now, are you a member of any of these clubs?
This one I'm not. Cincinnati and some other ones I am, but I think right now I'm a member of 10 or 12 clubs, because I also give speeches on breeding fish and the evolution of my fish room, what I've done over the last 7 years with my fish room, because it's constantly changing and constantly improving it. So I give talks to clubs. So as I give talks, the clubs will give me a free membership for the year or stuff like that too. So
that's pretty cool. Do you enjoy doing that, going about and speaking?
Oh yeah, I love getting out and meeting the other fish keepers and just shooting the breeze about the hobby and trading information, and that's the best part about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
meeting other people.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big miss since COVID started. We haven't been able to talk face to face with the fish friends we have,
That is very true. Now we got more people joining us. I saw Rob 93's in the house. Paul McCartney, how you doing? And Greg, the guppy guy. DKF, how you doing? Hey folks, past midnight here. Gonna be up for work soon. Just dropping in to say hi and wish y'all a fun stream. Appreciate that. Now, do you have a dream fish? I mean, you're keeping so many different types already.
Do I have a what fish? Sorry.
Like a dream fish, like that one fish you want to get, you just haven't been able to get.
Yeah, I mean, Plecos horii is one dream fish that I want to get that I just haven't been able to. I'm not ready for them yet. You got to have the right tank and the right tank mates. So it'll be a couple years, but I'll get them at some point. And my plan would be next 3 to 4 years, if everything plays out, I would probably sell where I'm at. I'll buy a house with some property, and I'm going to throw up a building out back, and I'm going to put, 500-600 tanks in that building and truly breed and, have pretty much anything I want. So nice 10, 12-foot tanks. So when you walk in with the fish that I want to keep, but it's a dream right now. We'll see if we can make it happen.
Hey, I feel you. We all gotta have a dream. We all gotta have something to shoot for. And hey, you've been doing this for a long time. Like you'll get there. It takes time, but you'll get there. Yeah. It's not easy maintaining 80 tanks right now, but
No, and it's even better now that 64 of them are on an auto water change system. So when I had 140, they were all manual. So it's really draining and refilling 140 tanks. It was a 4-hour night, 7-day-a-week job after work.
4 hours every night?
Yep.
And you barely get to not even half of them, do you? 4 hours?
Nope.
That's the same thing I want to do. I actually want to set up an automatic water changing system in my fish room next after I finish building it up.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be, but it took some work because all the tanks had fish in them. So I had to empty 36 tanks in my fry racks because those we emptied. So I just bought totes and put them on top of my tanks and drilled holes in them, the lids, and ran air stones for a week while I emptied them. And we drilled most of them in the weekend, and we got about 13 tanks to finish, and the drill bit broke. A piece came out of it and chipped my 40-gallon tank. So I had to wait till the next week to get the other new bit in to finish the last 13 tanks, but it wasn't too bad. And then we ran PVC behind them all for the drains, and then 6 months later, we put in the water change system. It's all ran off a Ratio system, so it's all Wi-Fi enabled. I got 6 zones right now. I wish I would have put a couple extra in, but that's okay. I can always add if I need to later.
Now you're gonna add the other 20 to the system?
No, probably not. I might add 675s, but the way my fish room's laid out, I kept all the water lines all around the walls, and the piping and the plumbing's all on the walls, so nothing's in the middle of my fish room. Just in the middle, I got my big tanks, my 125s, my 150s, and those I don't know if I want to drill or not. I'm afraid, one, they're half-inch thick glass, and two, they're not cheap tanks to replace. The 40 breeder, you break, okay. A 75, okay, you're out $100, a little over. I break one of these, I'm out $700-800. So, and plus, I don't want to become complacent. If it's all automated, I don't. I need to have a purpose to come down here. So if I have to come down and do water changes, at least I still deal with the fish. I enjoy them. I get to spend time down here versus just pushing buttons on my phone and okay, water changes are done for everything for the week, and
I think that's pretty neat how you have it set up to your phone. Now, what's the system again that you're using on that? It's
a Ratio, RACHIO. So it's a lawn sprinkler system. They're like Rainbird. I think Rainbird has a Wi-Fi controller as well. But I just bought a Ratio.
So you just bought a water sprinkling system and connected it to your water changing system.
Yep. So each Rainbird sprinkler valve is hooked up to each zone on the sprinkler system.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty neat, man. I never thought of that. I learned something today.
Yeah, I wish I would have done it years ago. I probably would still have 140 tanks if I would have done it. If I had it automated. But that's okay.
I'm not the best DIY guy. I admit that.
I'm not either. I'm lucky I had a buddy who does construction down in Ohio. It came up and stayed the weekends at my house to help me do it all. So he's a perfectionist. So everything's very neat, tied together, and tidy. And if I did it, it probably wouldn't have been that way. So
I feel you on that one. Florida Fish Rescue, how are you doing? Now, have you ever done any of the big events before the whole pandemic started?
have I went to them or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been to the ACA, so American Cichlid Association. So I've been to their conventions in Louisville, Cincinnati. I was president for 3 years of the Michigan Cichlid Association up here. So we hosted it. I ran the convention in 2017 up here in Michigan. And then in 2018, I forget where it was. And then 2019, it was just up in New England.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2020 was supposed to be in California. I was looking forward to going, but the pandemic hit. They canceled it. So 21's in Missouri, so we'll see if they do it this year.
Okay. Now, do you show fish in those events?
You can, yeah, if you want to bring them along.
No, have you? Have you gotten into that?
Not in the American Cichlid Association. I did when we hosted it. Sorry, I take it back. When we hosted it, yes, I did. I showed. I had a group of Petrochromis, so I showed a male Petrochromis moshi. I showed a male Frontosa and a pair of Cyprichromis negripennis that I had. So yeah, I showed in that one because we were local. But I haven't really traveled with fish to a show yet. I got a nice red devil. I might look at keeping and doing a show with. I don't know. I got a pair, but he's so mean to the female. I've thought about keeping him and just having him be a pet fish, but I don't know yet.
Am I going to Aquashella? Man, it all depends how everything is going. I'll be honest with you. At this moment, I'm like, no, but I would like to go. Now, no, I was asking you that because I was thinking about showing, but I want to, it's not cichlids. I want to start showing bettas because I've been getting more into breeding dump and everything. And I want to know a little, I want to start learning more about the whole showing fish with these clubs and everything. Because I have never shown a fish, in competition.
So a lot of it's pretty easy. The biggest thing is, like for me with my cichlids, is they got to be in their own tank. So depends how many I want to show, depending on how many tanks I want to tie up for just one fish, because they can't get their fins nipped, or you really got to watch even when you're catching them to bag them, to take them to the show, how you handle them so you don't nip their fins or get them damaged, because obviously that'll count against you when they're getting judged.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a guy I know in Ohio. He shows like 70 fish each show, but he has 100-some tanks, and they're dedicated just one fish per tank, so they don't nip each other or do anything. That's what he does. He shows fish. So, I mean, it's fun. I will this year. I'll show some more this year.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. It's a whole different world into showing fish and everything. And I just think it'd be cool to just try it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think I'll fall into that whole category of being a fish shower, but I think it'll be fun to do that once or twice.
Yeah, a lot of them I'll show my photography, so I take pictures, fish pictures. So a lot of them I'll find the best ones and I'll enter them in the shows.
We got a question for you. Do you sell online, and do you have any shell dwellers?
So yes, I do sell online, and right now for shell dwellers, I do have some Neolamprologus multifasciatus available.
So there you go. Tell them the website again.
CunninghamCichlids.com.
CunninghamCichlids.com.
Yeah,
And guys,
if you want to order fish, you got to PM me. I don't have a shop on there for fish, but only for foods. But if you want, my stock list is up there. And if you want to order fish, just send me a message and we can talk about how many you want, what all the costs are, and everything. I don't want the fish buying part to be automated. I'd like to have the interaction with the customer.
Now, I know I threw you guys in the beginning of the chat. You guys seen I got a promo code on my website. And two, I saw that you having a special right now on your food.
Yes. So some of the food I'm running, we're trying to figure out the market too, what sells and what works. So some of it we're running a 20% off special on some tropical flake that we have left, some spirulina flake we have, and then some earthworm flake as well. So that's 20% off. And then we always have a coupon code first time 10 if you're a first time customer to come and get 10% off your first order.
DKF, you have a good one. Appreciate you for the like and come to the live stream. Now I know I got a few people here that came because I'm going to do the auction tonight. We actually going to do that at about like 8:50. I'm going to auction off a pair of half moon Plecos. But getting back to you, I just lost my train of thought for a quick second. Oh, have you ever bred any Central and or New World cichlids? Have you ever dabbled more into that at all?
So
other
yes,
than you did angels before.
Yep. So I did breed a little sad to admit, but I did breed a pair of wild convicts. I got a buddy of mine in Ohio that's a big Central American fish keeper, and he knows I keep African, so he makes fun of me and I make fun of him. And so in 2019 at the Christmas party for the American Cichlid Association I went to, he gave me a pair of wild convicts and said, "Here, go ahead and breed these, but I want a pack." So I bred those, and then I bred the neats from Costa Rica. And then I got the pair of red devils to work with to try and breed. I do have some Nanny Eludis, the yellow convicts that I'm growing out. And then I have a group of Erectes minklii, wild caught from Cuatro Ciénegas, Mexico. So they're hoping those guys will get big enough and breed. They're about 5 inches now. So I do have a couple New World cichlids in my fish room. But some I don't like to admit.
Would you ever try angels again? That's my favorite fish. I love angels.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to give up on something when I'm trying to breed. So just the timing wasn't right. So I'll come back to them. I had some really nice strain at koi, and I'd get them to lay, but I couldn't get them to hatch, and whether I pulled the slate too soon. But if I left it in there, they would eat them overnight. So it was a kind of a catch-22 trying to raise them.
Were you using anything on the water when you were pulling the slates?
Yeah, so I was putting methylene blue in the water when I pulled the slate. Just in a pickle jar and then an air stone in there with it.
Yeah, angels could be tricky, but after you get them going, it's easy.
That's what everybody told me, but I couldn't get them going. So
my big thing is live bears. I love live bears. I'm big into the swordtails and stuff. I mean, I breed fish that your fish will eat. They're snacks.
Oh yeah,
my
my 11-inch or 11.5-inch Malawi trout over there would have a field day with some of those.
Now, is that the biggest fish you have?
Probably right now, yeah. I just shipped out last night a 10-inch wild caught blue chromis Trinitania. So, yeah, my trout's the biggest one I have right now. I got some nice 8.5, 9-inch Malawi gar males in my breeding tank over there.
Mm-hmm. So you ship big fish too?
Oh yeah. One fish in one box. He's all by himself, but
yeah,
make sure he gets there.
You overnight all of them, don't you?
Yeah, for certain ones I'll ship cargo. So him, I would only ship air cargo. I didn't want to do overnight with them. I had some people that wanted them, but I didn't want to risk them overnight.
Now, I have never done air cargo. How is that?
It's not bad. I mainly try to only do Southwest because they're just easier to work with to me than what Delta is here in Detroit. But it's not bad. Southwest, I had to get an account set up. Had to be TSA approved to be what they call a known shipper to ship with Southwest. Delta, anybody can ship with Delta.
Mm-hmm.
Just right now with COVID, Delta's not shipping live fish unless it's a direct flight.
Unless it's what?
A direct flight.
Okay.
So if they have to make it, so if they can't get, so from Detroit to California, if they got to stop somewhere and change planes, they won't send the fish right now.
Now, when it gets over there, they have to pick up at the airline?
Yes. So depending on the size of the airport, like Detroit, we have a different access service road, and that's where the cargo hangars are located. So it depends on your airport setup, how big it is. Some pick it up where you drop off your bag, even a baggage claim. They can get their fish before. And some of the smaller airports that I've shipped into, but a lot of the bigger ones, they have the separate terminal or separate building for the cargo.
Okay. That's different. See, I done only postal service. You know what I mean? Because I'm shipping smaller boxes than what you got here right now. So I didn't know how the airline worked or any of that whole system.
It's a really good process in Southwest. It's a really good price, in my opinion. I can send you 2 full boxes of fish for $55. I can't do that overnight with anybody.
That's true.
Some people, they might live 2-3 hours from the airport, and they don't want to drive to go get them, so they'll pay a little bit more for the overnight service to the door. So it just depends on each customer preference.
Okay.
So if I ship overnight,
you do the postal service for overnight to the door?
No, I use UPS. I used to use the postal service years ago because when I first started shipping, because we got better rates and discounts if we did it online. Then they took that away to be more competitive with UPS and FedEx. So I went and got over with UPS.
Okay. So I think that's pretty cool, the airline thing, because like how much your boxes are weighing. Do you know?
So the one last night with one fish was a little over 10 pounds. Some boxes can weigh 20 pounds. It just depends on what's really in them.
Mm-hmm. So you said about 2 boxes? That's not bad.
Yeah, and I overpack, so I know I put more air in the bags than what the fish really need, but I try to be prepared in case the fish are delayed somewhere along the route, that they have enough oxygen to last. If they're a day or 2 behind, I've had a fish get lost in New York, and it took them 4 days to get somebody's house, and they were alive when they still got there.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of horror stories out there shipping fish.
Yeah. I've had 2 boxes left in November. Well, one reason I won't use Delta or don't want to use them is the guy ordered my breeding group of Optus Tilapia ventralis several years ago. I had to ship them from Detroit to LaGuardia, and it was in November. So I dropped them off, did everything I needed to do. You track them, and the fish get scanned all the way through. They made it to LaGuardia. The customer goes there to pick up the fish. They can't find the fish. So he's on the phone with me. I can't find the fish. I'm like, what do you mean? They're scanned there. You track them. They say they're in LaGuardia. They should be in the warehouse. The fish are nowhere to be found. So I'm on the phone with Delta. They're talking to LaGuardia. They're talking to Detroit. Come to find out, the fish were left on the tarmac. They were never put on the plane in November.
Oh,
so
man.
They put on the 7 o'clock plane. Well, my customer worked midnight, so he had to go to work. So he couldn't get the fish. So by the time the fish got there in LaGuardia, they sat there overnight until the morning, and I was a nervous wreck that they're all going to be dead. It's November. It's winter. They're cold. They all died, and actually they all lived. So I was surprised. So certain things, other sellers can get in 1 box. I might have to send you 2 boxes because that's just how I pack.
Mm-hmm.
But
Man, yeah, at least they live, man. I had a box get sent to Alaska instead of Arizona in the
Oh,
middle of November.
wow. They all good, or did you lose any?
No, no.
Uh, Sometimes it's a nightmare. It's like, Well, it's like the fish I shipped last night. It was supposed to be in Atlanta at 11:20 this morning. There was no room on the first couple of flights in Detroit, so they had to reroute. So I had to go from Detroit to Denver, change planes in Denver, go to St. Louis, change planes in St. Louis to get to Atlanta. So it's still flying right now between St. Louis and Atlanta. So.
Oh yeah. So you see, guys, you guys listen to this. It's not easy, people. I mean, shipping fish around the world because, or even in your area, because after we drop off that package, we don't have control no more. You know, and if something wrong happens, we still get blamed by the customer. You know, because we're responsible to get that package to them. You know. But the great thing is, you can actually get your hands on a lot of nice cichlids, or any type of fish. Now, have you ever done importing?
I have not, but at the point right now, I'm thinking about it. So I can get an import license. My only hang-up is Detroit's not an airport of entry for customs and for fish and wildlife. So I'd either have to use a transshipper to get them to clear one of the ports and then get shipped into Detroit, or I would have to have them shipped into Chicago and drive about 4.5 hours each way to pick them up, and then sit there while they clear customs and everything. So the import license is like $100, so that's not a big deal. It's just it's the process involved. I don't know if I want to drive or use transshipper, so I'm trying to weigh the cost of everything when it comes to that part of it.
See, I'm more the type that I would never use a transshipper. I would like to be there and get them myself. You know what I mean?
I would too, but the customs service can screw you around. You wait 2-3 hours, and then they'll finally look at your stuff. So with transshippers, they have a little bit more rapport with the customs people, so they can get a little bit better access and get it done quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then if you deal with transshipper now, they're cleared. Now you got to wait for them to get put on a plane and get flown to you. Where if I drive to Chicago, they clear them, I can just load them up and come back home.
Now, is there a transshipper in Chicago you could try to meet up with? You ever thought of that? Trying to meet up with him?
I have not. I haven't. I'm just barely starting to look into the process.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you want to import?
Some African cichlids.
Just that?
Yeah, I mean, there's different stuff in Germany. I'm more looking at European imports. Not comfortable with going directly to the lake and bringing stuff in that way. So probably through German. There's a lot of breeders in Czech Republic that are breeding some really nice bristlenose, some nice epistogrammas, and different stuff we don't have here. So some of that.
There's some serious breeders in some of the other parts of the world. I mean, they're doing some nice different colorations on these fish. Now, you said epistles. You like dwarf cichlids?
Yeah, I don't mind them. I know there's more soft water cichlids, and right now I'm not set up to keep a lot of soft water cichlids, so I'd have to do something different. But yeah, I love their look of them. I love the attitude they have. The way they're rear their fry for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like epistles. Do you like rams?
Yeah, I had them and they all died, and I haven't tried them again. So I had just your basic ram tried them for my daughter's tank, and it didn't work out too well. So I gave her a colony of Similis in a 10-gallon tank and said, "Have fun with these." Those I knew I could keep alive.
Now, what's your family's opinion on you doing the hobby and gotten this deep into the hobby?
They like it. My son's 17 now, so when he wants to make some extra money, he'll come down and start doing water changes or help me get food packed up or get ready for a show. So my kids were into it when they were younger. They had their own breeding tank. So my son had a group of Pseudotropheus, ACI Ningara, the whitetail ACI, and my daughter had a group of OB peacocks. So what we used to go on fish. We do fish room tours here in Michigan with the club. So they go with me to some people's houses and liked them and said, okay, I'll buy the group of fish for you, but you got to work it off. And then when I start selling the fry, once I get my money back, whatever else after that is, you guys get for profit. So both of them would take care of them for a while, and then they got to a certain age, they're like, nah, we don't like fish no more. So my son would rather be playing his video games.
Teenage years kicked in.
Yep, and yeah, it's all different today with the social media and everything.
Oh man, yeah, the teenage years could be it's different, especially from our era compared to their era.
Oh yeah. I think some good invention was the phone, but it can be the worst invention sometimes.
Ain't that the truth? Now, have you enjoyed your journey on YouTube? I know you said you started just to document, your stuff and everything, but have you enjoyed where it's taken you?
Oh yeah. I got to meet some different people. I'm real good friends with Jay Wilson. I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for YouTube, and so yeah. I mean, just being out there, trying to put myself out there, also trying to put videos out there, certain things, trying to be more transparent, I guess, of a fish keeper. So I have some series out there, a day in the life of a fish keeper that goes through a couple weeks, and then it skips some days. But just what we go through every day keeping fish. Tanks leaking, have to replace them. Fish die. I had a whole tank of fish die off. I still don't know why. Really nice big Rubichromis hereditanias died. I don't know why. So things happen to us just like they do just every an everyday hobbyist. So I try to be more real with my channel and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been a cool journey and everything. The whole YouTube thing, because I look at it a big way of documenting what we're doing. That's the way I look at YouTube. It's a good way of us documenting what we're doing in our fish room.
Oh yeah, for sure. And giving other people what you can see what it takes to have 80-something tanks, or to maintain them day to day, and how much time is involved and everything.
Now, when we're gonna get the Cunningham live stream going, we got to get you on a weekly cycle.
Yes, I know. I do have to do that. That's something I will look into. I gotta went and bought some equipment to do it, so I just gotta start doing it.
Man, you don't. That's the way I look at. You really don't need equipment this day and age. Just with a phone.
Yep. And I do a lot of them off my cell phone and walk around and show the fish and everything. So.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to do. I mean, just to get out there more, and help your channel grow. Patrick, I'm enjoying the YouTube live. Thank you. You guys are enjoying it. Now, have you ever done the auctions like Aquabid or Gills, anything like that?
Yeah, so when I started shipping, originally I started shipping and I was selling on Aquabid. Then I quit for the winter, and then I need to set it back up again and start doing that over there. A lot of it kind of I thought died off, but I think Aquabid's coming back now, or Get Gills, I think, is another site that you can list fish on, or you can set up like a little store on there. Yeah,
now, I was going to ask you, you shut down shipping for the winter, or you still ship during the winter?
No, I still ship. It just depends on the overnight temperature has to be higher than 30 degrees. So certain fish that I would ship overnight, in the winter I'll only ship cargo. So I do change a little bit, But now that it's getting warmer out, I'm back to overnight pretty much for anything. Unless it's bigger fish, I won't ship overnight. I'll ship them cargo. But it's just easier on the fish for the price. $55 to make sure they get there live or have a better chance to get there live. It's worth it.
Yeah, you're right. Because this 2 or 3 day shipping and the weather change. I shut down for the winter. I really don't ship during the winter. I'm just starting to do shipping again, just because it's to me it's too much the way I look at it to be sending fish out there and dealing. But you're actually using a pretty good system using the airline. That's not a bad. I don't think that's a bad system there.
No, I mean you have some delays. I mean, like the deal with the fish today, instead of getting it at 11:20 a.m., it's getting it at 10:25 p.m. But that's stuff I can't control. You just gotta pack and expect it's gonna happen. And 9 times out of 10, they go fine, and then you have the 1 out of 10 that gets rerouted or maybe gets delayed for some reason. But,
Well, I'm getting to about that time where I'm going to start this auction off with you guys. Now, again, Josh, I appreciate you joining us. I really appreciate you giving us your time and letting us see a little insight of your business. Now, where can we find you on social media?
So I have a Facebook business page under Cunningham Cichlids. I have a Facebook group that's under Cunningham Cichlids. I also have an Instagram page under Cunningham Cichlids and a YouTube channel as well.
Cunningham Cichlids all the way.
Yep.
And Twitter. You got a Twitter account?
Yes, I do. No TikTok though.
I was about to ask.
No, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. I've thought about maybe some short feeding videos of fish eating the food that I'm trying to sell, but I don't know about that. So
to me, it's enough doing Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. It's like that's enough I can handle.
Oh yeah, well now you got Band, so Band's starting up, so I'm over on Band as well because Facebook banned the live fish sales. So I try to watch what I do because I don't want my business page shut off. Even though I'm a registered business, a lot of that's allowed, but I still don't want to get my page shut off. So I watch what I do on Facebook and do more over on Band too. It's just a lot to post on all, try and post on all the different platforms separately, and it's a lot to keep up with sometimes.
That's true. That's why I haven't even tried Band or anything like that yet. It's a lot to keep up. Now, we got any people interested in the auction? What are we gonna do while we're still talking? I am auctioning off this pair. Can you see them right?
They're hard to see with the glare.
That's the male. No, this is one right here. What's the other one? Like, everything's backward. I can barely see. Well, there goes the other one. Guys, I show y'all pictures. This is the pair of half moon peacocks. If anybody interested, all you gotta do is name a price on the chat. Shipping will be $10 only in the US. That's a little bit better, don't you think?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Now, do you have any bettas? You told me you had one, right?
Yes, I do have one betta in a 4-gallon tank up in my kitchen. It's a purple with white-tailed betta. I got it at Chicago a couple years, probably 3 years ago at a fish swap there.
Mm-hmm. Is that the only betta you ever had? You ever had them before?
No, I've had them on and off, and my daughter's got a couple that I brought back from Chicago for her as well.
Never try to breed them?
No, not yet. I heard of the bubble nest and the way that some of them breed, but no, I just haven't tried it.
Yeah, I think they're a pretty cool fish to breed. They're completely different than most fish, It's interesting. Now, I actually was experimenting with some hybrids. What's your opinion on hybrid fish?
Hybrid fish? I don't like them.
You don't like hybrid?
No, not really. I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't. At least for sure with cichlids, there's a lot of them that are naturally occurring in the wild that we can keep and we can preserve. We don't need to go and try and make new strains of different fish, different OB strains of this or OB strain of that. I mean, that's just personally, that's just my opinion. I'm not knocking people that keep them and enjoy them. Some of them are very pretty, but
Hmm.
I like the natural species that come out of the lakes.
So you more of the wild type, the more purest lines.
Yeah, where possible, yes. Not always available, but where you can.
Hmm. Now you never got into flower horns, nothing like that.
No, no flower horns. No,
No.
no. I did have discus several years ago, and that didn't go too well either with me. So, but
Yeah, discus are pretty cool. I like discus. I really think they're pretty neat. They're a little bit more difficult to keep, but
oh
they're
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Sure. On
Monster
the way,
fish. Will you ever get into monster fish? Arowanas, giant cats, anything like that?
no, they're needed. I mean, I got a buddy of mine in Ohio has a 1,200-gallon tank, and he's got tons of monster fish. And they're neat, but it's just not my thing.
Okay. Yeah, I like to look at them. I don't think I could ever keep a tank that huge.
I wouldn't mind a tank that huge. I would just put cichlids in it instead of, so
Yeah, I think the biggest is my 220.
okay, nice, yeah.
You know, but that keeps a whole bunch of koi's and goldfish in there.
Okay. Yeah, I can only get 6-foot tanks. The biggest I can get in my basement is a 6-foot tank, so I'm limited in that area without taking out part of my wall and stairs. And I wasn't going to do all that.
Now, will you be adding more tanks, you think, again?
So I'm adding 4 more that get delivered Friday that are sitting in Toledo, Ohio right now. They're 472 by 24 by 22s, and those are the last 4 that I'm going to add.
So 84, and that's it. Now, what size tank are you raising your fries in?
A lot of 20 gallons, but I am starting to put a lot of the bigger predator fries in 75s and in 150s. So they grow slower because they get much bigger fish. Your gars and your trouts are slow growers, so trying to put them in bigger tanks and do water changes every 3 to 4 days on them and power feed them pretty much to try and grow them faster.
Now, are you only feeding your fish your food, or do you do live food too with them?
I don't do live food, but I do frozen foods. So I feed a lot of omega-1s frozen foods. The frozen mysis, frozen brine, frozen krill for my bigger predators. I also feed freeze-dried krill to some of my predators. The more protein helps them breed. It helps condition the females, so they're more adept to breed more often with the males. So
that's not bad. Now, when you power feed your fish, what's your cycle of power feeding?
So I'll feed them the fry food three times a day, and I also have a mix of flake food that I have that I'll feed them, in between. So I might do pellets, do flake, and then do pellets, or flake, pellets, flake. But I feed them at least 3 times a day.
At least 3 times?
Yeah.
You got any fries going out right now?
Oh, I got a lot of fry going on right now from the Malawi Guard, my Chimsachromis group, my Exochromis anagenes. I have fry from some other Protomelus groups that I used to have. Fry from some Mylachromis Ericatania group I had. F1 fry from a wild trio of Coprachromis I have right now. Fry from Gobi Cichlids from Lake Tanganyika, the Arid Modus. Cyanicistics Congo. I got F1 fry from them growing wild group that I had growing out. So yeah, I got fry, and I got quite a bit of fry. I got bristlenose fry if you want albinos. I got some super red calicos coming up.
Okay.
My L144 lemon drops are sitting on eggs right now again. So
Would you do any other types of plecos?
I did breed some wild L33s, but to be honest, they bored me. I didn't really see them. They'd sit in the caves, and they didn't do anything for me. So I bred them and sold them and moved them on to somebody that enjoys that, breeding plecos. I wouldn't mind keeping them. I got some green phantoms upstairs with my rainbows.
Oh, that's nice.
And then some L201s, the big spot plecos. There are a couple of them up in there with the rainbow fish.
So you got some rainbow fish too.
Yep, I have a 75 upstairs in my office that has rainbow fish in it. Yep.
What else you got in that tank? That's your display tank?
Yeah, so I got rainbow fish, I got some stir-by cories, and then I have the green phantom pleco and two L201 big spot plecos in there.
Okay, so you got some cories. You ever bred those? You ever gotten into those? Or just...
No, I would like to breed these, so I got them growing out with the rainbow fish.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be where my angelfish were as well, but something I read and I observed is the rainbow fish are much more aggressive eaters than your angelfish are, so I had to pull the angelfish out.
Yeah, they can be a little bit more aggressive. R&B Animals. We got Aquafunk in the house. How y'all doing? Now, again, man, I really appreciate you for joining us. We got about 3 minutes left. At the end, I like to ask everybody, if you could give one piece of advice to a new person coming into this hobby that you think is very important to let people know, what would it be?
One piece of advice for me that's important is make sure you do your research. So don't jump in. Like I jumped in 100 miles an hour. I was buying tanks left and right, Craigslist, this, that, trying to throw my fish room together. And it took me several years of remodeling and redoing things to get my fish room now the way I really enjoy it. So, do your research, take your time, and enjoy the hobby. And don't be afraid to share ideas either. Nobody's right or wrong. I mean, we can all learn from each other, which is the best part of it, is the interaction.
Ain't that the truth? Somebody said, do the research before you get the fish. That's always been important. I always push that. I mean, learn what you're keeping before you get it, because you really would know what you need to do. Don't chase numbers and parameter. Buy fish for your water. That is true.
Couldn't agree more with that. That's my rule right now. If you can't live in my water, so I won't buy a pistos and some softer water fish, because I know they won't live in my tank, so I don't even want to mess with them.
Now, how is your water condition?
Right now, it's very alkaline, and my pH is around 7.5 out of my tap. So it's great for African cichlids that love the hard water.
Oh, yeah. That's why you have so much success with them.
Yes. Sometimes too much. It's like, okay, take a break in breeding. I don't have any room to put your babies. Take a break for a minute, but that's all right.
So again, everybody, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, check out Cunningham Cichlids on all your social media sites. He got a special going on food. And right now I got 20% off going on my site. I started shipping. Everything's back up on the website. What did he say? That's a hard one. There's a lot, like 5 things off the bat that I think is important. Yeah, but I mean, research is very, very important before you do anything. Really learning what you're doing. Any last words?
No, just thank you for having me on your channel. I really appreciate it. Keep up the great work. Keep bringing, keep your channel growing, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man. You too, man. Keep sticking it out. I mean, you'll get some success with your food, and you're out there doing the grind right now. Right now, you're really grinding out there, so it'll work out.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Well, again, thank you, everybody. And Like always, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all have a blessed night.